guys, I'm Eliza, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about haters, and rather how you can love haters and stop the cycle of hate and all of these cycles and patterns of hate that are put out into the world. And when these patterns are shown right in front of your face, I'm going to show you and tell you a little bit more about how you can stop these patterns, why you should stop these patterns, and what having haters truly entails about you and your being, and how significant or rather insignificant these haters truly are in your life, and how little effect they truly have over you and your well-being. Haters are something that everyone is familiar with in today's day and age because of the rise of technology and the internet and social media. Haters are not limited to the use of the internet, and they can be confronted in real life as well. Let me start off by saying that if you have haters, you are doing something right. You don't want everyone to like you, because then you're simply a people pleaser and you simply put on facades and roles for different characters and people in your life, and you aren't truly embodying your own true essence of yourself if you're manipulating yourself to become a whole different person in front of a bunch of random people. Know that if you are being yourself and you are expressing your authenticity, you will attract haters naturally. So know that if you have a hater, this isn't a reason for you to hate yourself, because this hater rather hates themselves and is projecting this insecurity and fear onto you because they see you shining and you doing something that maybe they dare to do, or rather don't dare to do, but they dream of doing. So let's get started. You know yourself, and you know the kind of person that you are. You know your intentions, and you know that not everyone is going to see things in the same way you do, as the same perspectives that you do and hold. This is different and naturally different because all of our minds grow up in different conditions and circumstances and are created and evolve into the being and mind with the perspectives and thoughts and feelings that we do carry with ourselves throughout our life. From a very early age in childhood, we are learning and developing these ways that our mind works and sees the world and sees ourselves and others. Our minds are made up through these different experiences that we experience throughout life, and no two people have identical experiences, which means that no two minds are identical, which means that no two perspectives are going to be identical, and no one will ever be able to like exactly the same things, or rather dislike the exact same things. This is where the concept of hate or dislike comes into play, and you can see it as being completely natural, because the things that we like or dislike come from a place of where we were as a child and how these childhood experiences are affecting our day-to-day life now. This creates an unavoidable gray area, but this gray area is much needed and necessary so that we aren't simply living in terms of black and white and love and hate. This middle ground is extremely important because it's where most people truly do find themselves, even when they use the words that are strong, such as love and hate. Usually there is some sort of mix in between the two, and even if you absolutely hate something, I'm certain that you could find something that you do find positive out of that thing that you hate. This is where the gray area becomes extremely important and valuable, because you will notice that truly you and your opinions do really lie in this gray area the majority of the time, rather than being at extreme radical ends of love or hate. This gray area is good because it creates balance. Some people will love you and some people will say that they hate you. Just like some people love chocolate and some people say that they hate chocolate. I don't think that chocolate is taking this so personally as a mean hit on their character and what they taste like. I don't think chocolate even really cares, because it looks and sees how many people love it, and it knows that to have this love, there's going to be a balancing out of this hate. This contrast is a natural part of existence that we should love and accept, because without one, we cannot have the other. Something that I've learned is to observe your haters rather than to interact with them, because when you interact, you're inputting your own energy and your own love and light into this storm cauldron of darkness, and who knows what they could be wishing upon you. Personally, I find it in your own best interest to just keep your distance from these haters and to observe them, because maybe they do have some good constructive criticism, or maybe you can learn something from them, or maybe they are really pointing out something that you should become aware of. But by observing them instead of interacting and interjecting and completely opening up your gates to these haters and unleashing your emotions, I find it extremely beneficial and useful to remind yourself who you are and center yourself back inside of yourself, and to not allow the insecurities of these other people to trigger your insecurities in reacting emotionally. Your emotions that these haters may bring up are relevant and are important, but you do not need to be screaming or yelling at the people who are trying to put hate into the world, because you want to put love into the world and in your life. And I find it to be that in these moments where haters are attacking you and hating on you, and you have the opportunity to decide how you want to react, if you want to react at all, or how this is affecting you in your mental state, this is the big opportunity for you to recognize this cycle of hate and this pattern of hate that this hater is putting out into the world and putting onto you. And this is your opportunity to stop that cycle and to stop this person's trail of hate right then and there in your tracks and in their tracks. And you don't have to keep passing on this hate and creating this hate train of hate. You can stop and end the cycle of hate that they are projecting and creating into the world right then and there, and start putting out love and having love for your hater and love for yourself, and holding understanding for your hater, why they're hating, and holding understanding for you and yourself and why you may be feeling the ways you do because of these haters. Overall, it provides a very great opportunity for you to recognize these patterns of hate that are being spread into the world, and for you to be a roadblock for these haters. I know that most of the time people don't want roadblocks, or there could be a negative connotation to that word, but in the sense of ending negative cycles on this planet, I think that a positive roadblock is something that we should all start being. You don't want to stoop down to your haters' level. I don't give haters a taste of their own medicine. I give haters a taste of my medicine, which is love and understanding and patience, kindness, and forgiveness. I am a retired hater, and I can say that hating is exhausting. And it truly limits the way that you live if you choose to be a hater. Your haters are simply closing themselves off to opportunities and perspectives that may not have existed inside of their limitations and closed mind, and stubbornness, and fear. These haters make limitations of what is acceptable and lovable based on their own perspectives and life experience. So if you do not fit into this mold of what they think is exactly perfect and lovable and enough, they will be projecting their own insecurity of not being lovable, accepted, and enough onto you, because that is what they have seen and believed to not be worthy and accepted as enough. So they're projecting that onto you rather than going inward and focusing in on themselves and what parts of themselves in their life they may be hating and projecting onto you. Hate is a recipe to be suffering and depressed. If what's constantly in your conscious is hate and disliking others and pinpointing all of others' negative flaws and insecurities you think that they should have, this is creating a cloud of depression and suffering that you are only making for yourself if you are a hater, which is why I find it valuable to share love with your haters, because maybe you could be that spark that really switches their cloud of negativity into some rainbow. Because we all know and have been in those low times of life, and we all know how important and meaningful and impactful it really can be for even just one person to tell you how great you are, how cool you are, or accepting you for what you have that you don't accept. This is why I have compassion for haters. Haters simply haven't searched within to all the depths of the love that they possess and can share with the world. Not only the love that they possess, but the love that they truly deserve. Because even haters deserve love. Haters are in fact the ones who feel like they have the least amount of love in their life, which is why they go around spreading this hate. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to hate something like pedophiles. But being a hater and consistently hating on people for living their lives and doing what makes them happy and bringing them down as a sense of joy or achievement for yourself is being a hater and is being a lowlife. Circumstances that have caused people to act out of such hate is no excuse for their behavior, but it does give us a better understanding of why they are acting in these ways. It provides context and insight for the decisions that these haters are making. We all have parts of our life that hurt us and have hurt us. What not everyone does with this pain is allow it to teach them love. Instead, these haters allow this pain to infest them. This is what separates a true hater from a true lover. How you allow your mind to create your actions. Any hater hates a part of themselves or their life, otherwise they flat out wouldn't be hating. There wouldn't be that hate in their heart that they hold for themselves that they're expressing out into the world. They wouldn't be expressing that hate out into the world if they didn't have that hate for themselves in their heart. Because if you have love in your heart, you will be expressing this love and gratitude into the world and acceptance into the world because you won't be looking at things from such a critical lens of, I hate that, that's not enough. The way that you view the world is the way that you view yourself. So if you're viewing the world in such a negative, hateful way, you are viewing yourself in such a negative, hateful way. Your life is your mirror of your internal world. So if you spend your time hating and dragging other people down, it's showing and exposing you hating and dragging yourself down. A heart full of hate will express hate, and a heart full of love will express love. And why would you allow a hater to tell you what is lovable or not when they don't even know the true power or value of their own love or the love of the world? Why should you let someone who doesn't know the power of love tell you if you're lovable or not? Stop putting your love into the hands of the hater's heart. You hold all the power you have unless you choose to give that away. Your haters may be lost in not finding a true sense of themselves, which is why they find the need to drag other people's sense of themselves down. Your haters won't love, so when they see this spark of love inside of you, it triggers them, because this is now a physical representation of what they feel that they lack deep down inside. Your hater doesn't hate you, they hate themselves. Haters aren't your personal issue, because if someone's projecting hate into the world, that is their own personal issue of projection. And when you are a bright light in the world, this attracts many, many moths, as we know. Misery loves company, which is why these haters try to knock you down and take you down with them while they are taking down their own love. Hating is low and loving is high. Hating leaves you depleted, while loving keeps your cup flowing and overflowing. And your haters probably don't know the real consequences that hating is having in their life. A mindset is what makes up a person in their life. And they call it making love for a reason, because life is love. So if you are hating, you are only deteriorating your own mind. No one makes hate for a good time unless they hate themselves and their life. The likelihood of any hater knowing any slim actuality of who you are is very low. People that don't know you don't have the right to define you. It's like if someone were trying to speak a new language, but they simply didn't know the language at all, and then they started going around naming definitions of words. This person and this language simply aren't on the same level, and this person can't be defining another language's words when they don't even know the language or are accustomed to it. These people truly harbor so much negativity inside of their psyche, and I truly feel for them. Hate is blinding while love is clear. Hate is darkness while love is light. Hate is being closed off while love is being open and accepting. Love the people who care enough to talk about you and take so much interest in you to be talking about you and wondering about you and curious about you, and maybe even spreading false rumors about you, because they are so interested in your life that they just want to be a part of it and make up your life. Your haters are truly interested in you and your uniqueness. You wouldn't be sparking this reaction out of them if they didn't see something in you that were to cause this reaction. Their true feelings may be a little tangled and jangled up because they aren't so sure what this little triggered emotion is. But what it truly is this hater realizing that you have something that they do see in themselves. They may not think it's there, but they know deep down that it's there. And this hate is them talking to themselves about how it's not there and they don't believe in themselves. So they're projecting this onto you when they truly do know that they have this inside of them, but they're disguising it and masking it as you being something wrong, instead of them knowing that they have something inside of them that they don't want to extract and show to the world and exude and become. Any hater that you have sees something extremely strong and valuable inside of you that they do not see in themselves. Anyone who is hating is expressing their weaknesses, and anyone who loves is expressing and elevating their strengths out into the world. Anyone who goes and hates on you is showing you their weakness and showing you the weakness that they feel inside. So please remember that these people aren't truly as big and bad as they seem to be on the internet, leaving mean comments, telling you this and that about yourself. This person sees your power, knows your power, and wants to take you down so that they feel more powerful themselves. Your haters keep you in their mind and mouth without you even doing anything. If they actually hated you, don't you think that they would try to never think about you, speak about you, or leave comments on your posts? Don't you think that these haters would truly never talk about you again if they really hated you that much and couldn't stand you? Your spark interests their spark that's underneath these layers of hate. When you have people hate you, you are making people react to you. Your light is triggering their dark. Your soul is triggering their ego. Love your haters because it will only strengthen the love that you have for yourself and the world. Loving your haters will strengthen the love that you possess and are exuding. You are setting an example for your haters when you choose to love them. You are setting an example for your haters and showing them the diminutive effect that their agony has on you in your life. You already experience your own pains in life, and you aren't responsible for taking on the pain that others have yet to be responsible for handling themselves. You are only responsible for you and your own love, so block out any of the hate that these haters want to send your way and send them love and healing, because then maybe they won't continue these cycles of hate and they will learn and become a retired hater. You know that you stand out and shine when you have haters, because anyone that conforms to norms won't have haters, because haters want to fit in. When a hater sees someone who accepts not fitting in, this will trigger their fear. Let the haters hate, because all they're doing is bringing in more publicity and attention towards you, just like your supporters do. If someone truly had no interest or care for you, they wouldn't be thinking, speaking, or having such intense feelings about you. I love my haters because they remind me of the darker aspects of the human mind. I can learn through my haters without ever having to hate myself for a day again. You can see the low lives that these people decide to saturate themselves with and see the difference in how you choose to live your life. Another great note to remind yourself is that these haters can be used as motivators and fuel. People could sometimes be intimidated by their haters because they think it's such a powerful voice and force telling them what's wrong with them, because they have heard so many times themselves or from others in the world the same things that these haters are projecting. And this person who is receiving the hate does not want to be told exactly what is wrong with them. The truth is, whatever these haters are telling you is wrong with you, or that you should stop doing whatever you're doing, or for whatever insult that they want to make for you. We all know by now that these haters are only projecting their own insecurities of their life and themselves onto you. This is why you should use it as motivation and fuel. You can remind yourself about times in your life when maybe you were as low as these haters and you were in mental ruts and you couldn't get yourself finding your way out of situations that you felt you dug yourself so deep into. These haters can be used as your motivation, because haters are simply a representation of maybe past versions of yourself that weren't putting in the work and weren't doing exactly what you could be doing to make yourself this loving, kind creature who wants to express love and positivity into the world. Let these haters be a reminder of the person that you once were that you may have hated. Let these haters be an example of the reason you continue spreading your love and light and the reason you continue putting in the work, because you've moved so far away from being a hater that they're great reminders to show you that there are still things that people need to work on in the world. And even you probably, well, we all have things to work on. So you have things to work on too. You probably aren't in the same place that these haters are, but they can serve as great reminders that we are all humans and we do all make mistakes and we do all project into the world. So allow these haters to serve you as motivation and fuel for your own journey and your own takeoff and launch into the person and life that you truly want to be creating. Haters can also be great motivators, because it's important to remember that haters never go away, because with love there's hate. We need both to exist, and in this gray area they do all exist. So these haters are necessary and they won't go away, which is why it's very important for you to not let these weigh you down, but to rather strengthen you and make you stronger on this journey of you getting up to the top of the mountain. Something else I've noticed is that if you are getting haters, this just makes you that much more of a main character in your story, especially if you just brush them off and these haters don't mean shit to you, which they shouldn't, because you are so powerful and so amazing and so beautiful and so deserving and so loving and so light and bright that any of these haters, the reason that they're hating on you is because they see all of those amazing qualities I just listed and they want to see that in themselves, and they don't want you to see it in yourself because they don't think there's enough to go around. So they just want it all for themselves, and they aren't realizing that there is enough to go around. And just because one person loves you and one person loves themselves doesn't take away from you not loving you and you not loving yourself. The only thing that takes away is this person continuing to be a hater and continuing to project their hate into the world and onto you and undeserving others. These haters really show their true colors, and just know that the way you respond and react will show your true colors too. And know that you shouldn't tolerate someone completely defamating who you are or trying to spread false lies and stories and rumors. Don't tolerate any of that, because that's not hate. That's straight up crossing a line and making someone to be a person that they aren't. But if someone's just leaving little rude comments or just stating their opinion and perspective on you, this is a great opportunity for you to reflect on yourself, reflect on the world, maybe take in some insight, learn more about yourself, and really use these situations as haters as steps forward, and not only motivation, but knowledge for you to learn more about yourself and others, and how you can be moving forward, and how you can be inputting your own expression lovingly into the world, especially in situations when these haters may be rising up and trying to stab you back down, because you will show yourself how strong and loving you truly are when these moments and energies of hate are pounding your way and penetrating your aura, but you are able to stand there in peace and resilience and love and breathe through the hate, because with every breath there is love and light. And no matter how much hate you see in the world, or you see today, or you see along your whole life, know that your love is so much more powerful than any person's hate, which is why I will tie it all back together. Love your haters.